We want to bring into our conversation right now Trey Yingst. She is a journalist with News2Share, an online publication. He joins us from Washington, but he has just come back from Ferguson. Thanks for joining us. Let's talk, Trey, about what the scene was like last night when you were there.
Last night the scene was extremely violent. It started out very peaceful, and there were a number of protesters and community leaders out on the streets, and they were obeying all of the rules that were set in place to keep people safe. Some of those rules included staying on the sidewalks, not congregating in the middle of the street. And then around 9:30, 9:45, that's when things took a turn for the worse, and tear gas was used, and riot police came out with full gear on, and the night escalated from there.
Now, I know that, you're one person in one location. We are hearing that this is a few agitators in a large group causing the trouble, sort of getting into it with police. Is that a fair assessment from where you stood yesterday?
Yes, certainly. I definitely think that's a fair assessment because it's a very small percentage of the protesters that turn to rioters and turn to violent action that causes the police to have to take a defensive stance and use some aggression, and this is where the violence escalates. And I would definitely say it's a fair assessment. We saw last night that two of the people arrested weren't even from the state of Missouri. One was from California and one was from New York. So that just goes to show you that there are a number of people coming to Missouri just to take part in this violence and take part in these riots just for the thrill of it.
All right, I know you took some video. I want to show that quickly now, so let's have a look at some of your footage. All right, you mentioned that it was a fair assessment to say there are a handful of agitators, some of who are not even from the state. Are police fair in their reaction?
I don't think they are. They also add to the escalation because last night the peaceful protesters were standing in the middle of the road. They maybe weren't supposed to be standing in the middle of the road, but they weren't rioting. There was no looting going on. There was no violence going on. And then all of a sudden, through the line of riot police comes an armored vehicle, and then things just escalated from there. So I don't think that in the video that you just saw, there's a number of riot police moving forward, and I shot that video and was pushed down by the riot police, and they're yelling, "Go home, go home." And we're saying, "Press, we're press," and they didn't seem to care. They had their guns in our faces, just feet from my face. There was a gun, and there's no reason why I should be looking down the barrel of a gun while I'm just a member of the media.
Yeah.
Because then that sets a bad example for the protesters, because they think if a member of the media is being assaulted like that, pushed down to the ground, and has a gun in their face, what are they going to do to me?
Yeah, it's a fair question at this point. Trey Yingst, we have to leave it there. We're out of time, but thank you for joining us.
Sure, thank you.